Several years ago, I was reading the Sunday paper. My wife accuses me of being guilty of reading only the calendar section of the Sunday paper. But I was reading the calendar section and I read about Arts Center in Pasadena and how they have what they call a visionary in residence. And their visionary in residence is someone who comes in and sort of shakes up the university and does things sort of cross-departmentally and interdisciplinary. And so I said to my chairman, why don't we have a visionary in residence? Well, President Corey found out about that, and he said, why don't we invite Roberta Ahmanson to be our visionary in residence? So I was at a meeting in September of, I think, 2010, I guess it would be, where he said to her, would you consider being our visionary in residence? And she said, absolutely. And he said, do you have a topic or a theme? She said, sacred space. And then he said, well, if you're willing to do this and you've got a theme, then I want to declare 2011, 2012 the Year of the Arts, and I want this to be a celebration that goes across the curriculum and across the campus, and many departments participate.
You know, there were a number of years that we were having emphases on this dimension of art or that dimension. We'd bring in visionary in residence. We've done that for a few years. So we talked to Roberta Ahmanson about, what would it be like for you to come in as our visionary in residence? And I remember sitting on the little porch area outside of the office where I hang out, and with Roberta, and Roberta said, I don't think I'm ready to do this yet. And I said, why? She said, because I think to do this well, we can't do it in a semester and we can't do it soon. We've got to take a full year to do this, and we've got to plan it well in advance. And that began the process of thinking about a full-orbed Year of the Arts that would be much more than just the arts department. It would be interdisciplinary. It would involve travel. It would involve bringing in renowned speakers in poetry. It would involve doing opera. It would involve plays. It would involve, bringing in some of the great lecturers of the day. And it just, as I sat there, my heart started to palpitate, saying, we can really do all that. And it took a visionary like Roberta. It took a doer with this kind of creative effervescence like Barry Krammes, and all I had to do was say yes.
Every university ought to have a Year in the Arts the way Biola University has. Compliments to all of you here. I mean, this is a unique year in the life of universities, and I would venture to say that there haven't been and there aren't many universities that would see the importance in having a year of arts, a year celebrating the arts on their campus, and to understand what beauty and what a wonderful thing that has brought into the lives of all the students here on Biola University campus. I mean, I can only laud and applaud this year on this campus, and in the hopes that others will take heed and will duplicate this.
I was trying to rally the support of as many departments as I could, and I knew that music would be a key player because, as Martin Luther said, music is the crowning achievement, God's crowning achievement, God's great gift to mankind.
A year ago, Barry Krammes announced to the School of Arts and Sciences that there was going to be a Year of the Arts, that David Nystrom was interested in putting that together, and President Corey as well. And so I kind of jumped on the opportunity and was thinking, well, how about maybe we could work out a commission of some sort.
I talked to the head of the music department, and one day George Baseflug and Robert Denham came to me, and Robert said, is there any place in this Year of the Arts for an original music composition? And I thought a minute, and I said, That's a great idea. That's a brilliant idea. Yes, we have to make this happen.
So then the burden for me became simply to prove that I could come up with something that was worthwhile. We knew that the theme was sacred spaces, but as far as resources, we really didn't know what we had. And it looked like at that point it was just going to be the viola orchestra with a viola chorale and maybe a couple of faculty soloists. So it was going to be really tidy and kind of an in-house operation. Problem with oratorios is that they are extremely, extremely expensive. Operas, oratorios, just the resources needed are immense. And so I shot for the sky, and I came up with 3 different scenarios, one of which was this huge, grandiose piece that might take an hour to perform. And my idea all along was if I shoot high, then I'll at least land somewhere in the middle and probably get plan B.
Of course, I'm an idealist, and I was just thinking about the conclusion, how wonderful it would be to, at the end of this year-long festival, celebrate with an original musical composition.
And I need to stop and give a deep appreciation to Howard and Roberta Ahmanson for not only the genesis of this idea and coming alongside us in thinking and imagining what this year might be like, but also making the connections and providing so many of the resources and thinking even beyond the horizons of our own reality of what this year could be.
The Ahmansons came into the picture early on because we knew that Roberta Ahmanson had been designated as the visionary in residence for the year. So first of all, I have Roberta to thank. The resources that we came to enjoy, the relationship with Pacific Symphony would not have happened without her help, and Howard Ahmanson as well.
For this to happen was, I had to keep pinching myself. It was sort of like a dream come true, that we would take seriously the arts in all of their many manifestations and ramifications. If we're interested in contributing to culture, and the evangelical community is not known for contributing to artistic culture very much, but if we're interested in contributing to culture, then we need to be creating original works of art on a regular basis. So last year was the beginning of what I hope will continue in some form or way in the years to come.